Hey folks, Matt from artoftheimage.com. Got a viewer writing in on the email here. This is Mike. He's writing in with a question. He says, "Hi Matt, love your videos on YouTube. I sell on eBay roughly 30 to 40 items listed. I upgraded my camera from a Panasonic FZ200 to a Nikon D7100 body only. I have no lenses yet, so I need a lens recommendation, hoping you can help. Small items using standard white background and daylight fluorescent bulbs indoors. If you need any more info from me, please let me know. Cheers, Mike." So thanks for your question, Mike. First of all, great choice on your upgrade of the Nikon D7100. Very competent body, and I probably would have done the same thing you did and bought the 71 over the 72 in your situation, because the only real advantage between the newer 7200 is that it has a deeper buffer, so you can shoot a little faster in sports or in wildlife or situations when you shoot faster. You don't want your buffer to block up. In your situation, it's probably never going to be an issue, so 7100 becomes a better value because you can get it for a better price. You've still got the same autofocus system, same amazing performing sensor, but for less money. So first of all, I just wanted to say good choice there. You're shooting in a kind of basically a studio situation. White background, you've got daylight fluorescent bulbs indoors. Sounds like you could add more light if you want to. So a fast lens isn't an issue here. You're probably mostly just looking for a good sharp lens. I would tend to go with, first of all, if you don't have a 50, I would go with a 50 f1.8G. One of the sharpest lenses out there for the best price, one of the best values in the entire Nikon arsenal. You could actually get a less expensive one and get a 50 f1.8D, the older one, smaller, lighter, still very sharp, because the 7100 has a built-in motor drive, so it will drive a D lens. So for price, that may be your best option. The f1.8G is a little bigger. It has a little newer optics coatings. It's a little bit better lens all around, but the f1.8D was no slouch. So I would go with maybe one of those two. Specifically for sharpness, you're not going to need the speed, but you may want to blur out the backgrounds. You may want to get that shallow depth of field, so that will give you that. The other option you could use, or you could put a pair together, is most of the zooms you're going to find, like for instance, I really like the 18 to 140 zoom. It's not the absolute sharpest out there, but it's a good all-round zoom, gives you a great range. You can use it for, a walk-around camera lens as well. And if you're shooting in a controlled situation, you can dial it into f8, which is probably going to be usually a stop or two above what the maximum aperture is where you're getting the best sharpness and the best image quality. So I would say you're going to shoot that somewhere around f8, maybe somewhere in the f7s, and get really good image quality out of a not super expensive lens. This is a variable aperture lens, often sold in kits with the 7100, and it'd probably be everything you need because you are in a studio situation. So the 50 is going to be sharper. It's not quite as wide, but you could probably find both those used or refurbed together for less than the price of one, or around the price of one, and that would do you very well. So unless you have a need for something wider, it doesn't sound like it from what you're shooting, those are what I would look at. You could also, as an option, look at a 70 to 200. The Nikon 70 to 200 f4, I believe it's, let's see here, $1396.95 on Amazon. Looks like you can get them as low as $899 used. Great lens. Going to give you some options there if you want to shoot portraits, or if you want to use that outdoors for other things like sports and wildlife. The f4's plenty good for you on the 7100 with its high ISO abilities, and you're shooting a studio situation. That might be something to look at as well. So, I mean, those three lenses together might give you a really good setup. Again, the 50 could potentially be everything you need, and give you a faster lens, extremely sharp lens, and the ability to have the shallow depth of field to isolate your subjects if you weren't just shooting on white, or if you want the background blown out. The 18 to 40 is going to give you more versatility as far as being able to go wide and telephoto. And then if you want something more telephoto, extremely sharp lens, that's more expensive, but that 70 to 200 f4 is really nice. You could also find a used older version of a 70 to 200 from Nikon. They're all very nice. Even the push-pull f2.8, the older ones, you can get for well under $1,000 and are quite nice. So just some options there. What do you guys think? Do you agree with what I'm recommending? I think the 50 is kind of a universal recommendation, but let me know what you guys think. What would you do and why? Let's help them out. Thanks for your questions. Stay tuned. We'll be back soon here at artoftheimage.com.